Hey guys. So I'm back, and it's been just a wee little bit longer than I said it would be, so sorry for the slight delay. Some stuff came up. I'm gonna talk about it all in a video on Friday, so you can look forward to that. And today we are you know what? We're making Mario in Minecraft. Okay, I was gonna be all over dramatic and be like, "Wow, I cured cancer with command blocks," but no, it's Minecraft Mario. Okay. All right. Now, before we actually get started, I'm just gonna have to make a bunch of excuses for why some stuff isn't gonna be right with this video. I guess first and foremost, it has been a long time since I've done any recording stuff, so it's gonna be kind of tough for me to, not sound dead inside. And I am in a new place while I'm recording, so, there might be some audio problems or video problems, or, you might hear my keyboard. So I guess with that out of the way, let's get started with actually making some command stuff. So the first one that I'm going to go ahead and do is probably the triple jump, where he's like, wah, wah, wahoo. I think that basically just happens when he jumps 3 times in a row, ideally while sprinting forward. I know there is a scoreboard objective that can somehow track how long someone has been sprinting for, so we're probably going to use that for this. Okay, so apparently it's not how long you've been sprinting for, but rather how far you have sprinted. Which is going to make this a little bit trickier to work out, but I guess the main question is, does it still work when you're in midair? Alright, so let's see. Oh, it's over there on the right. First of all, if I walk forward, doesn't work. If I sprint forward, does work. And I guess the big question is, I'm running, I jump, and it pauses. I mean, okay, we can work with this. I actually think, now that I look at it more closely, that the fact that it doesn't go up when I'm in the air is a good thing. What I want to do is I want it to reset the score back to 0 when you're in the air, which we can do just by checking if the block beneath me is air or not. And so then we'll have it set to 0, right? I'll be falling down and I'll hit the ground and I'll get a little bit of sprint time. And what I'm thinking we can do is we can only give the jump boost if the score is between a very small range of values, like say 1 to 20. Right, so, it really would only happen if I was just holding spacebar like this. It does seem to be working. You can see I can run and I can jump, and I progressively get a little bit higher. So the gist of it is we're still sort of resetting the run score only when we're in the air. And then what we do is we have a second scoreboard objective that tracks how many times I've jumped, called jump, for hopefully obvious reasons. And what happens is, first of all, if I run too far, that gets reset to 0. So that's so that I can't just be like running along forever and sort of saving up my triple jump and then just doing it at the last second, But anyway, the point is, where the stuff really goes right is I check first of all how many times I've jumped. So this has to be like consecutive jumps, because like I said, if I run for too long, it resets. Also, I have to be sprinting for it to do it, because it checks if run is at least a little bit, and if all those conditions are met, it gives me some level of a jump boost. I think that is pretty much that one all done with. I'm thinking that the next thing will be like a wall jump, the one where you're like, you can slide down the wall and then bounce off. So I think there are sort of 2 main challenges with this one. The first is, very obviously, detecting whether there is a wall in the blocks next to me. And the second issue, which is a little bit more problematic, is how we're going to make me jump from midair. So the way that we can check if there's a wall next to us is with an execute store command, which fills the area around me with something replacing air. That's a long way of saying, basically we run 2 commands that count the number of air blocks next to me along both axes, and yeah, so that means that if there's a block next to me, it will output 2 instead of 3, or even 1 if there's 2 next to me. But that doesn't matter. All we can do is we can just check if it's 3 or not, because if it's 3, that means there's no blocks next to me, and if it's 2 or 1 or even 0 if I like go into the ground, that means that there is a wall next to me and we should do, stuff. The first stuff we should probably do is just sort of give the person slow falling. So let's just make sure that's working. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but I can just drop off. Wow, it's not working. Why is it not working? Oh, because I put in jump instead of wall. Wall. Okay, let's try this again. I plop down here and I glide nice and slowly down. Amazing. So the other thing we have to do when the person is against the wall is let them jump away from it, which is where things are going to get tricky and where honestly I'm going to have to take some shortcuts. I don't really quite know how to bounce the person away from the wall, because modifying a player's motion is basically impossible. We're probably just going to have to make like even more fake motion. And what I mean by that is it's going to, when I, press the jump button, which is going to be space here, it's going to give me levitation, which will push me upwards. But it's also going to just sort of teleport me gradually away from the wall, which will look kind of stuttery and, probably not that good, but you do what you can with what you have, and sometimes that's not really what you want, but it works. The good news is this solution is not too hard. I think with pretty much just one command block, we can just make it bounce me off when I'm like against the wall. Like I can go here and then I can press shift. That didn't work at all because that's off. Let's try that again. If we go back up here, fall down, press shift, you can see it. It really rockets us up there. That's probably too much. Alright, well, I just went ahead and sort of filled in the details on that, which were a little bit more extensive than I had thought. Most of this it's just, I have to check which direction I want to go based on kind of, which direction the block is in. So I just have to literally check all 4 directions manually to add a tag to myself. And then based on the tag, I have to teleport in a certain direction, which is another 4 command blocks. And then I need 4 more to remove the tag from myself at the end. But I think it's working because, I press shift. It doesn't feel quite like natural, but it's not too far off, honestly. I think one of the best things about it is that it's tricky to sort of just scale the wall on your own, which is very accurate to the game. Alright, I'm thinking I want to try and get in one last effect, and for this one I think I am gonna do the backflip one. So for those who don't know, it's the one where you press shift and then you go flying. Wow. So unfortunately for that, we're gonna just literally need a second shift scoreboard objective because the other one is being affected by other stuff, and so we really just need a second one. But this will keep track of our shifting completely separately. Sort of the tricky part about this one is obviously we need to give the person jump boost when they're holding shift. The question is going to be, when do we take that jump boost away, or when do we reset the shift score? So the obvious answer to that is you just say, okay, well, it only gives you the jump boost if the shift score is high enough. Like if I just turn that one off and I just press shift and instantly jump, that does work because that's that. But if I were to make this like say 100, right, and I press shift and instantly jump, it doesn't do it. But if I just press shift and hold for, it wouldn't be this long, and then jump, it does give it. But then we run once again into the problem of when do we reset it? And yeah, that's one that I'm gonna have to think a little bit about. You know what, forget it. I'm just literally gonna add another scoreboard to see if I've walked at all, and if I walk at all, it will reset it. I think that'll be pretty easy. For some reason, I have this irrational desire to like minimize the number of scoreboard objectives that I'm using, which is kind of dumb. From that point of view, this whole thing has been a nightmare because, oh my god, 6 scoreboard objectives, what are we gonna do? Alright, so let's see. I think we should probably see if it works when I do the right thing first. Let me make sure this is on. Yeah, everything's on. So if I press shift, it counts way up. I think I set it to 40 now, so if I jump, I can jump. And actually there we already saw one of the things, which is if you jump it resets to 0, so you can't just be like bouncing here while you're waiting to go up, because that's not right. You have to actually just sit here and wait for the right moment. The other thing is if I walk, yep, just gets reset back down to 0. I literally had 2 scoreboard objectives for every single one of these traits, which is basically my worst nightmare. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Alright, so let's finish things off, as always, with a nice little test of everything we've done. So here we have the world's first ever first-person Super Mario course. So we can run along and hit our head on some bricks like Mario does for reasons, and we can't get up here, and we can try and wall jump, but oh, we can't, because this game is too well designed. So instead, we're gonna have to pull some triple jumps, which actually I'm not sure anymore how I'm going to do that. Maybe I can get up here. I didn't plan this out actually very well. Okay, this is not. Boink, and we're up. Let's get up a little more, cause. Okay, let's try this. So I can be like, wow, I made it. That was a little bit bugged, but I'm not gonna complain because it would be kind of impossible otherwise. Here we get an amazing super mushroom. I was gonna say super flower is some kind of dumb ironic joke, but then I realized it was actually super mushroom. So the dumb ironic joke can come later. And then, oh no, a lava pit, which we have to jump over. And here, we gotta get up these walls, I guess, so we can just boop, boop. This is not working. I am not very good at this. Okay, we're over. And oh, here's the super flower. Let's go. Amazing, epic humor from your favorite man, Henry Cat. Let's not fall off the edge, please. Moving past the dangerous super flower, we have to climb up these ice pillars, and I probably could actually do a triple jump, but the idea is you can't do a triple jump, and you can't do the wall jumps because you can't wall jump off of ice. Everyone knows that. So what we have to do is we have to power up an amazing backflip and get up to the top and get into the princess castle or whatever. And I think that's gonna just about do it. Sorry I've been gone so long. I'm really happy to be doing this again. If you're new here, you know, make sure to check out some of my other videos. I like to think I do some pretty cool stuff. We'll see if you think the same. And so with that, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!